If you've ever tried making clouds by using the clouds filter, you know the results are not always that great. For example, if I simply change my foreground color to blue, so now I have blue and white, and I choose render clouds, the result I get is okay, but there's only almost too many clouds, not enough blue, and we can try running it more than once, but bottom line is it doesn't work all that well sometimes. So here's an alternate plan based on a technique, an old version or an old edition of Photoshop User from, I believe it was like 1999 or something like that. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to, first of all, get some blue on here. So I just added a new layer. I'm going to pick another color which is a slight variation of my existing one, and I'm going to take my gradient tool and just create a gradient just so we have a bit of variety in our basic sky. Now we're going to add a new layer, go back to the default colors. Now the easiest way to do that is press the letter D. I could also click on this button, but by pressing D it just does it automatically. Then we run the same clouds filter on this new layer, and again we could try running it a couple of times to try and get different variations. This is one of these techniques, like many, that once you run through the whole thing you'll have a better idea of what you want to have at this point, because this isn't the final version of what our clouds will look like. Now to this clouds layer we're going to run levels, so I press Command or Control L. Could also get it from the image adjustments menu. And in the input levels in the middle field we're going to change it to 0.5 and click OK. Then we go to the select menu and I'm going to choose select color range. Now this has some built-in things. I could sample the colors, but instead we're just going to use one of our built-in options, which is to select the midtones. So I click OK. Now at this point I basically can hide this layer. In fact, I can throw it away if I really want to, because it's pretty much served its purpose, which was to help me make this weird selection. Then I add a new layer, and on that new layer I fill with white. Deselect it. And now we're getting a lot more of a natural cloud kind of look. Now I deliberately put it on a different layer so we could play around with blend modes. Not that I think that's going to really help in this particular case, but we could also lower the opacity a little bit if it's a little bit too intense, or we could even do things like add a very slight little blur to the edges, perhaps, something just to soften it up even a little bit more. Here's before and here's now. I don't know which I like better, and that's obviously the place where you can experiment. Anyway, that's the basic idea, but by using the clouds filter, but then making a selection based on that, will just give you a much more random look and giving you a lot more blue in your cloudy blue sky. Check it out. It's pretty cool. So there you go, just a real basic idea, but one of the fun things is when you look at old ideas like that, you get motivated and you see new possibilities, and you never just know what might occur to you when you start to see what possibilities there are up in the clouds. I'm Dave Cross. We'll see you next time.